I was lucky enough at that point, I say lucky enough, I happened to be in a meeting in 2010 where a friend of mine that was leading a prayer ministry I was helping be a part of, he said, oh, there's this lady and she's got this vision. It turns out this lady was also from Scotland. And she came and she shared a vision to pray for our leaders, which is what the Bible says. And I came along and I got to be a part of and ended up kind of event managing what became a 24/7 prayer event for the Commonwealth Heads of Government. And that began a real kind of jump for me in unity involvement, in engagement and seeing a bigger picture, but also really beginning to connect the church with what goes out in the world. Yeah, the heads of government, the connections to government, the bigger picture of the world, because until then, kind of church had been this thing that happens on Sunday, and then the world was kind of what happened the rest of the time, right? And we kind of fumbled on and kind of tried to get from one Sunday to the next. But it began to transform how I saw things, which led me into this whole journey where I've learned so much about city transformation. In fact, for the last decade, pretty much that's been the key thing that God has been teaching me, and I've had the honor of studying loads and loads, and these are just a handful of them. I travel around the world, and so everyone bar one of the people of the authors of these books I've personally met. Some have become very close friends and mentors of mine, and these are people that teach transformation. So God just took me to get close to these people. The final one, I've got a meeting arranged in October to go and meet and spend some time with them. But it just became the way that God wired my brain. Yeah? I wasn't just here so that I could go, thanks Jesus, you've cleaned up the crap, now I'm going to sit on my butt and wait for you to come back. Right? And sadly, there is a large group of Christianity, and that's what they're doing. They're sitting waiting for the return. But God said, no, there's a great part of this Bible, one of the smallest bits, and what I really take note of, because the Bible is a pretty small book when you consider how much history it contains, right? And in fact, in the very last part of the Gospel of John, he makes a very clear statement that if he had actually recorded everything that Jesus had done, there wouldn't be books enough in the world to record it all. And we've got this little snippet. So there's a couple of things I pay attention to in the Bible. One is whenever anything is repeated more than once. Because if you've got a small space to communicate and you start repeating yourself, it's because the point is important. Right? Secondly, there are a lot of little snippets that are thrown in there that are hugely important. And there's a story about a guy called Enoch. And Enoch walked with God all the days of his life. And then God said, look, there's nothing else for you to do here. And he took him home. I'm not home yet. So that tells me I'm not finished whatever God has put me on this earth for.
Come on, that's
right?
good.